By the end of this video, I'll show you how I used all of these products to set up my 2021 Bible Study Journal. But first, we'll review what I learned out of my 2020 journal in order to set this one up. Well, before I get into this year's setup, which is going to be very basic and very simple, I'll show you why it's so basic based off of what I did and what I learned from last year's setup. So this is my 2020. It is a Stalogy 365 housed inside of a Hobonichi cover. This one is the marshmallow, so it's like a lavender pink outside and a grayish beige on the inside with a clear cover on cover and a postcard that a friend gave me that I just slipped in there. Just some ephemera that I already had. I stuck over here, program to one of our events, and then some leftover stickers just left in the far back. So that's why I didn't put the cover all the way through on both sides, because I used a lot of the stickers, or kept a lot of my stickers in this very back pocket over here. So at the beginning of the year, what I did was I tabbed off some of the Bible books that I knew we would be going through in that past year. So that was Genesis, Exodus, and Leviticus. So that's where we are right now. That's where we're ending the month of December. And then I just cut out my name and the year on my Cricut. Now this is with the metallic, this was with the metallic vinyl, and I didn't think it was going to stay at first when I put it down, but it held up all year, so it ended up being great. So again, this is a Stalogy 365, so I'm using the same thing this year, just in a different color. And so I had created these little vellum inserts, and I printed them on my black laser, and then I ran them through my foil machine, and that's how I got this foiled look. So I'm probably going to insert some of those in my Stalogy this year as I go as well, but it'll probably be as I go little by little. So the first thing I did, for example, when we started a new Bible book, like the book of Genesis, I used my Cricut here and I just cut out the Bible name, the book, as well as the chapters that we were discussing. I do like that I did this, but this particular font was extremely difficult to work with. It was very fragile, and I just don't think I'm going to do something as intricate as this particular font this year. I may have more like block designs instead of, or maybe a thicker consistency if I do a cursive, because this was really hard to manage after a while. So I just put my who, what, when, where, whys in the beginning. And then I used a stamp from Amazon. I'll try to link it. It comes and goes. Sometimes it's in stock and sometimes it's not. So I used that little calendar stamp to mark off the dates. But I also have these really cute ones that I got later in the year from Yes Style. And I think it was the Yes Style app. You can just type in calendar block. I'll see if I have an affiliate link with them still. I'm not sure if I do, but if I do, I'll try to make sure to link those stamps as well. And then I just kind of went by subject and by Bible character. Another thing I did, which this one needs to be updated, it's a little bit off, but I put timelines in here as well. And then I just started doing the characters just in a thicker marker. These are those like bullet style markers. And so I found it was just faster and easier to just write the Bible characters' names that way. So this is a part that we do every week. And in the beginning, I started with, again, very detailed, cutouts of vinyl from my Cricut machine. This got pretty old pretty fast because we have this every week, and digging out all these little bitty pieces was just a lot. So by the end of the year, I just started writing that title in there. This year, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to do this. Instead, I'm going to kind of combine this idea of just cutting out the Bible book and the chapters and pasting that across the top, because that's what's going to be going with those verses anyway. I really love this washi tape. This one is like a blue and purple roll of gemstones. And later in the year, I bought a pink and orange one. So I'll show you a few of those later. But so instead of putting this title here, I'm going to switch it this year to being the Bible book and the chapters. So as each month came, I also made those tabs ahead of time. These are with Post-its. Last year I used pastels. This year I'm using metallics. So it's the same company. I think it's just Post-it notes. They're flags. I have the long ones for the Bible names, and then I have the matching short ones for the months of the year. So I'm going to do the same thing with January through December. Now, another thing that I did differently last year was I included all of my broadcast notes in this notebook. But this year, I'm switching that up, and I'm taking that out of this notebook because this notebook was filling up so fast. I've decided that this is my scripture writing notebook. If you haven't seen this video, I will be posting it. But each day I write a daily text in each one of these. And then in the back of this notebook, it has a notes section. So what I've done is it's kind of like a bullet journal back here. And I know it's plenty of pages. So all the videos that I watch for January will go in those January sections, and I'll put the starting page number there. When I get to February, I'll mark that page number there. So all of my broadcast and other videos that I watch on that streaming channel will all be in one place along with my daily text scriptures. And the reason why is because we also have those special morning worship videos that come from time to time, and I want to be able to tie in those video notes with the specific day where that text was located. So that's why I decided to move all my broadcast notes into this smaller journal that I'm keeping up with just my scripture writing. So this is a Hobonichi Weeks, if you haven't seen this, and I'll make sure to link this video once I post it as well. So this was another thing I enjoyed doing last year, was just taking, say, a topic like a covenant name and putting a timeline, who, what, when, where, why about it, or writing just main points of what was in those chapters. Some weeks were very simple, just with a few notes, and I really loved that stamp. That's when I had received this one here. I was able to highlight the month of March and the first week. This is the week before COVID lockdown. Pretty crazy, right? On the weeks that I didn't have a lot to add, I used things that I've gotten from other people. So my brother had gone to an international convention in Argentina the year before, and he came back with this, so I stuck that little special gem in here. So as the year went on, I decided to also include all of my assemblies and conventions in here. Again, just very simple. I just wrote the title, and then I highlighted either key points or the titles, and then I stick a copy of the program in the very front of my notebook. And so I have all my notes for all my meetings, all my conventions, assemblies, and any Bible reading that I've done, all in one notebook. And it really simplified my notebook arrangement for the year, and I really enjoyed this format. So this is when those really pretty pink and orange ones came in. So I switched to it here. And again, you can see where I just got tired of using all those stickers and just wrote the title in. So this year, again, I'll change it to Bible books and chapters instead of trying to do that. But I'll keep using these little stickers since that's the topic of our meeting when we get to that section. And then by December, you know, pandemic and everything else going on, I just wrote the Bible book in there and wrote down my main points. So it's in there and I am happy it's in there. I'm just glad that I stuck with this method for a full year. I'm very proud to say that I filled the entire notebook the way I planned to. So here it is, January through December, all in one notebook. I am happy to say I filled this notebook all the way to the very, very last page. So we had an assembly that finished out this year. And now with this book complete, I am ready to move on into my next notebook. This is one of my favorite pens. So I'm taking it off of here. It's actually going on my planner, my day-to-day planner for next year. So that's coming off because we are done with this journal for 2020. Okay, so now for our setup for 2021. Again, this is going to be very basic. So this is the cover that I'm using. It's a new Hobonichi cover released this year. I did an unboxing video on all the items that I received from Hobonichi, so I'll make sure to link that in a card here. This one is like a handkerchief type white material with florals painted on the front with a silverish gray on the inside. Really love this deep color gray and two cute little bookmarks. So the artist is Kodue Hibino, and every cover, especially the special covers like this, come with a little explanation card about the artist, both in Japanese as well in English. So that's a little bit about the artist that designed this particular cover. There's, I think two, maybe there's more, but I know there's another one that's smaller, which is the A6, and it's like a dark gray, I think, background instead of the white. But I have a cover on it as well, so that will protect it. There is a pocket in the back, and you can access it through the clear cover as well. So that's really nice. So it's almost like you have two pockets back here if you really wanted. Okay, so in my setup this year, it's going to be a little bit different. Not only am I simplifying what's in the big book in my Stalogy, this year I'm going with the big yellow Stalogy. So I'll start with that. Last year was the 365 in black. This year is going to be the 365 in yellow. I was hoping for one of the special edition covers in this light gray, but I think I was too late to that bandwagon. So I went ahead with this yellow. I figured it was a good complement to the rest of the colors going on, along with the ochre yellow that is in here. Now, I don't think I'm going to worry right away about putting my name and year on this. I will for storage purposes later, but I'll show you why. This year, this notebook is going in the front right here. So that front cover is not even going to show. This is going to be my page marker for my first book. And so that will go in here. And so when I open my notebook, it's just going straight into the book this year. There's not going to be a cover laying here. I found that with this pocket here, it's sufficient space, as well as everything I have in here, as well as the back, for the amount of stickers that I actually keep or use in my book. So I don't use that many. In fact, I use probably more washi, pens, and markers than anything else. So it's okay to use up this space, and I still have room here to tuck in some stickers if I wanted to. So this is going to be my main meeting notebook from week to week that has the dates and the Bible books. Now this year we're going to have a second book. So this one is from Hobonichi. This one is just their plain grid book. It can be found in the accessories section of the Hobonichi website. And all it is a plain grid layout. It does change colors as it goes on. So like in the beginning, you can see this very faint red grid there. And then I think this is blue. This lighting today is terrible. I'm sorry. We have a storm coming, so it's kind of hard to tell the colors. I think that second section is blue. This one is green. And then I think the last section is like purple. So section colors aren't really important to me, but I'm including the second book because we are doing a detailed study of the book of Ezekiel. And I expect this book to take 2 years. It's going to be more than a year. And I don't want to have to reference this book from the previous year for something that I might need next year. So everything that we're doing with the book of Ezekiel is all going into this book right here. So week by week, I will move this bookmark to keep track of where we are with that subject material. So for this cover, I probably will decorate it some since we're going to be using it for more than 1 year. I haven't decided if I'm going to use a sticker material or if I'm going to use scrapbook paper and then design on top of that. That is still undecided. So for now, I'm just going to leave it like that until I get a better idea of how I want to decorate this particular cover. And then this one, I'm not going to worry about decorating right away. In here as well, I have some neat little things that I thought I could use this year. So first of all, let me show this. So Stalogy creates these sticker calendar sheets, and they're blank. So for example, we're in January right now, so I can highlight January, and then it has the weeks, and I can add in all the dates. This is particularly handy because we have special events. We have a special speaker visiting for a week in the month of January, so I can highlight that right away right here on this calendar, and I can specify what it is, any special events that we have for that particular month. So I think I'm going to use one of these at the beginning of each month, and then I can highlight specific dates with these cute little dots. Now be careful when you order. They have different size dots. So I think this one is the smallest one, but I'll post a picture of it so you can see exactly what the product number was if you're looking for this size dot to fit on this calendar. I'm going to slide these in the far back. Yeah, it still closes fine. Okay. And then these guys, though, will fit just fine right there. So we're going to put them right in here. Okay. So these come individually. They're not all stuck together, so that's kind of nice. These have more sticky than flag, if you know what I mean. So only this portion right here from my nail to the right, this little section is the only part that does not have adhesive. The rest of this area all has adhesive. So these are really great because from time to time, we have meetings that reference other meetings. And so I'm able to just tab off where those main points are that I want. And I have a nice little page flag there. All right, so here I'm just taking some old Project Life cards that I had, and I'm just trimming them down to just kind of add a little bit of interest to this front cover. So I like this pattern in the diagonal. So I'm just going to stack it behind these guys here. This one I want for my page flags, but I want to store him vertically. And then I thought this guy would be a nice little accent card way at the top just to finish things off. So let's see how well these guys stick. I think they'll do pretty good since they have quite a bit of adhesive on them. So I'm just going to take a small thin stack like that and line them up with these dots. Okay, so now that I got this front part set up here, I think I will now use my Avery Tabs. Again, I had bought these last year on Amazon, so I'll link them. Maybe they're still there, maybe they're not. I'm not sure, but I love it because they're these metallics. So here I have the gold, and then this is like a silverish gray, and I just thought this would blend really well. And I was really done with pastels since I was in pastels all last year, so I'm going more with nature theme and jewel tone theme this year. Total opposite of where I was last year. So what I do is I make them with my Dymo Labeler. This one is a clear tape. The clear I found on Amazon years ago. Again, I'll try to find it and link it. And I punch those out and then I add them to these tabs. So that's what we'll do now. I'm trying to avoid a glare here. I did all of the tabs for January through December. So I just kind of semi-evenly spaced them out. I went to the halfway point of the book, and that's where I started June all the way to December, because that's what worked for me this year. I actually finished the whole book within 1 year. So I seem to be pretty consistent on the amount of notes that I fit within a certain month. So that's kind of my midpoint marker to see how I'm doing by that point next year. The first starts on Friday. All right, so just a quick flip through now. Here's the Hobonichi cover along with the two little bookmarks. In my first pen loop, I am using the Hobonichi pen that came with the planners for 2021. In the front here, I've just added project life cards along with some page flags. And here I'm storing my extra monthly stickers, like the one I put right here. The extra monthly stickers are there. And then my extra dot stickers are stored here. I think there's about 4 pages of those. So here I have my monthly tabs, January through December. And then I go straight into the book of Leviticus for this month. And I have an outline of my calendar of some events coming up. And then I go straight into my week by week study. And this is actually December 29th of 2020, which actually is when January 1st starts this week. So this was my Bible reading for this particular meeting for this week. So that's why I added that date there. And then I'll probably put the Sunday Bible discourse right here. Now, when I use a really dark ink like this that goes through, the nice thing is with this paper, it typically does not bleed through to the next page. That on the next page is actually a sticker that I have. So here I'll probably use a dark washi, and I'll just make an accent washi tape here and here, and then start my notes for the talk on Sunday. So that's what I'll add there. And then this will be for my next week. I just wanted to show the difference and how thin it is. This is stamping versus this is using adhesive vinyl. So this one is a foil vinyl from Cricut. So you can see it's pretty shiny. This one is a bit of a challenge to use, as I'll show in the video. But I still really love using it. So that is it for this book so far, and I will finish it throughout December just like I did in 2020. Now what I have additional this year is this one on Ezekiel. This one we don't necessarily do a verse by verse discussion, but we do go by chapters. So the first thing I did was include like a summary page here in the beginning. And again, that's that very shiny Cricut adhesive foil there as well. And so I just put my quick summary, and I think what I'm going to end up doing is on my tabs, like I know we'll be discussing Ezekiel chapter 1 from next week. So I'm going to use the smaller tabs, these right here, to mark when we do like a whole chapter. So I can tab off Ezekiel chapter 1, and then we might jump to say like Ezekiel 37. Well, I'll be able to tab off exactly what chapter that section is about. So I think that will help a lot with this book, since we don't always go in chronological order while we're studying this one. So that is my setup. And again, oh, in the back, this is where I have my extra stickers. I cut them out one by one. So this one is like Leviticus. So when we get to this one, I'll take it apart then with only one word on it. And then I will attach it with my reusable transfer tape. So I just store that back here so that I don't lose it. And it stores just fine back here. So I just kind of hold it down, make sure it stays down, and then flip. So those are all my stickers already pre-cut for this year. I don't have to worry about cutting out any Bible books, at least. If I want to cut out chapters, I can, but I have a feeling I'm just going to use my stamps to put in my chapters. If you haven't seen it already, these are probably my second favorite pens that I use all the time. These Sarasa clip pens, and I buy them in the vintage colors. So I have a whole bunch in my planner pouch. Let me show you that real quick. I actually bought this in 2020 or 2019. It's kind of funny. It actually happens to match what's going on this year. So these are where I keep all those Sarasa clip pens. And you can just see they're a nice vintagey color. They even have this really neat gray. So this is just like my go-to grab bag of things I use in this particular journal. So these are the markers that I highlight certain phrases or words. I will write them either with the fine point, or I will underline the talk names and things like that with the bullet end. The other thing I keep in here are those gem stickers. So this is what those blue and purple gem stickers look like that I use for spiritual gems. And then this is the pink, orange, and red roll. And they are made by Bande, B-A-N-D-E. So I just keep those in here. And so this is everything that I need for this journal. Oh, and my little ruler. This I use a lot too. So I'll show you this real quick. Really fun little ruler. So it's the perfect size for this type of journal. So I use this one quite a bit. All right, so that's just a quick overlook of my Bible study journal for 2021, as well as my bag. Some have asked about my nails as I wear these. I'll post that information at the end. I use red aspen, and they stay on me for a good 2 weeks. It's all a matter of just taking the time and applying them properly, and they will stay on. So I don't have to risk getting COVID by going to a nail salon or anything. I just do it right here at home. It takes me about 10 minutes, and that's it. So if you're interested in these nails, I'll make sure to link them below. I'll also make sure to link all of these products that I showed so that you can see where you can get them. Everything from the Hobonichi cover to all of these Stalogy products. I believe all of those are available on Amazon. Hobonichi, you really have to get a lot of those on Hobonichi's website. The tabs, I believe all of that was also on Amazon. So I'll make sure to link those below. Thanks for watching today. And if you enjoyed this video and you're going to set one up too, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time.